going to play a little game. It's called Find the Atari. As a beginner, it's super important that you're able to recognize when stones are in Atari so that you don't find yourself in Atari, and that if your opponent leaves himself open, you can capture some stones. It's always good to, it feels great like when you capture like 4 or 5 of your opponent's stones. So let's not miss out on those opportunities. So we got to train our mind to be able to look at the board and to more easily recognize Atari. So since we're going to do that, we can just do that with exercises. So this is black to play. You're black. I want you to try to find white's group that's in Atari and capture the stones. I want you to figure out which coordinate you need to play in order to do that. Right? Pause the video and think about it. Okay, cool. So we're going to, as black, we're going to try to find the Atari. Well, we can count liberties. So this stone here has 2 liberties, but not an Atari. This stone here has 2 liberties. Actually, it's 3. That's not an Atari. So it looks like the only candidate we have left are these 4 stones. Remember, if they're horizontal or vertically next to each other, they're connected. So these 4 stones are one group, and they have 1 liberty here. So if you are black, you can capture them by playing bam. They're all gone. Right? And that's fun. That's a lot of points. All right? It's a lot of points. Also, it makes your group strong. It makes it almost impossible pretty much impossible actually, for your opponent to capture you. So that's why finding these Ataris, especially as a beginner, is such a huge deal. All right, you're black again. I want you to take a look at this one. Try to find white stones. Where is white Atari and how can you capture him? Okay, so count liberties. Always count liberties. Counting liberties will get you far. So let's do that. This white stone here has 1, 2 liberties. It's not Atari. These white stones here, these 5 white stones, are all clumped up and they're connected to each other. So they're one group and they all share liberties. And they have 1 liberty here. So they're in Atari. So that means that if it's black's turn, that means we get to, bam, capture them. We get all those stones. And that's a lot, right? That's 5 stones. So that's 1 point for each stone. So that's 5 stones, so 5 points. Plus all the juicy territory underneath. So that's like a 10-point swing in our favor. That's why these Ataris are so huge. All right, now I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult. These are situations where if you don't find the Atari, you're going to get captured. So you're playing black and you want to make certain that you capture white before white captures you. Pause the video and think about it. Okay, so if you are black, you should notice that this group right here is in danger. This group only has 1 liberty right there, which means that group is an Atari. But if we look at white's group here also has 1 liberty. So it means white's an Atari. These black stones have 3 liberties, so they're perfectly safe for the moment. There's no Atari to be had. This black stone here has 2 liberties. And these 3 black stones also have 2 liberties. So they're looking good. So it's either... So basically we have to capture white. So we play here. White is captured. It's important because if we miss it, then white captures us. So that's a pretty big swing. Compare this board to this board. It's totally different, right? One side, black got a ton of points and captured white, and this side, black lost a ton of points. Not only did he lose these stones, he lost these stones in the corner too. So it's a disaster if we don't find that Atari. All right, you're black. Pause the video. You know the drill. Okay, so black has a ton of liberties, and white stones. These 4 stones here have 1, 2, 3 liberties. So this group right here has 3 liberties, and these 2 outside stones don't matter. These 4 white stones have 1 liberty, and you guessed it, that means they're an Atari. So we're going to just go ahead and capture them. Lots and lots of juicy points. Right? It's really important, so don't play other moves like this, and white will capture our black stone, and then now white gets to keep all his stones. So that's why finding these Ataris are so important. If we miss them, our opponent gets let off the hook, and they get points that we should be getting. All right, last one. I made this super crazy. Lots and lots of stones everywhere. No hints. If you're black, where should you play to capture white? And again, this is one of the situations where if you don't capture your opponent will capture you. All right, so the magic area is this. All these white stones are all connected as one big group, and they have 1 liberty right there. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it doesn't matter. The groups can be as big as the board will have space for, as long as they're horizontally or vertically connected. So don't let the size fool you. They have one liberty right there. And since that is the case, if you have one liberty, we will fill that liberty in, and then you will be gone. Good night. White lost a ton of stones. If you mess up, White will take those stones, and then White will be able to hang on to his stones and keep the territory underneath as a disaster from Black's perspective. So we got to make certain in these circumstances that we are able to properly capture our opponent's stones. Why recognizing Atari is so important. Well, that's enough of practice today. Try to make sure you see Atari in your games. Take special care to count liberties, and I'll catch you guys next time.